Welcome to the Amy Ahlers Show, episode 205, the Insecurity Backlash. On today's show, we are going to talk about what the heck an insecurity backlash is and what it isn't, when having an insecurity backlash is a sign that you need to make a U-turn, and how to get out of the insecurity spiral. I'm your host, Amy Ahlers, and the show notes for today's show can be found at amyahlershow.com/205. That's amyahlershow.com/205. And before we get into the content for today's show, I just wanted to remind you that if you have yet to subscribe, rate, and review the show on iTunes, will you do me a favor and just head over there and do it? If you're in your app, you can do it real quick through the iTunes app, click on ratings, give me, hopefully, a 5-star review, and let others know. It's such an incredible compliment to me and really helps other women that are being way too hard on themselves discover the Amy Ahlers Show. Thanks so much. And now on to today's show. Okay, now I have got to start today's show with a little story. I did some incredible visioning, dream diving work with some of my mastermind sisters, which I like to call my sister mind. And we did this work in December where we were really closing out 2017 and welcoming in 2018. And we went big. I mean, we had the markers. This is like what I do with my VIP clients, right? We had the markers. We had the huge sticky note pads on the walls everywhere. We were doing dance breaks. We were feeling into our bodies, and we were getting dirty with the dreams. You know what I'm saying? And I have to tell you, I planned out the most amazing 2018 for myself. We even did this cool exercise where we thought about how we wanted to feel this year, what we wanted to experience this year, what we wanted to contribute this year, and how we really wanted to grow this year. And I left that dream session on fire and just filled with so much inspiration and desire. And then I came home to my husband and 2 daughters, and I woke up after New Year's Eve on 2018 and felt so much insecurity about all of the plans, the visions, the dreams that I had really called forth during that dreaming session. Has this ever happened to you? It happens to my clients all the time, whether it's one of the women that is joining me for the Inner Wisdom Mastery Program, one of my VIP coaching clients, or even women that have taken some of my online programs like Inner Mean Girl Reform School. I get this feedback all the time where we start stretching, we start allowing ourselves to really deeply dream. We get into that visioning space. And then when it's time to do the ass and chair work, as I like to call it, like the get shit done work, the insecurity comes in. I like to call that voice of insecurity the inner mean girl. Those of you who know my work know that I like to call it the inner mean girl. And she loves to come in with the megaphone the minute that we are dreaming, the minute that we are really going for it and risking. So here's the first hint that I want to share with you today, which is don't be surprised when your inner mean girl shows up. Don't be surprised that when you put out a big intention for yourself, a big goal for yourself, when you allow yourself to dream dive and you go down to the bottom of the surface of the ocean of your dreams and find that gorgeous golden shell that really truly feels in alignment for your soul. And you come back up to the surface and all of a sudden waiting for you is your inner mean girl on a boat, filling you with insecurity. And here's the thing I want you to know. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that insecurity backlash, that inner mean girl attack stop you from going after your dreams. We're here in the first quarter of 2018, those of you that are listening to this right after I record it. And this is the time where like the shit gets real, y'all, right? I mean, it's like, this is the time where we're feeling it. We are feeling like, okay, we're in 2018 and now what? I had these big ideas. I have these big visions. Maybe you had a real commitment to yourself to stop doing something or to start doing something and you're falling short. and then you're feeling that sense of insecurity and your inner mean girl is beating you up. Don't stop believing. I won't go into the Journey song. I know you're thinking it. I know you're feeling it the way that I am, but don't stop believing. I couldn't help it. Okay. But right. So it isn't the time for us to turn back. I feel like this is one of the fallouts of the secret law of attraction stuff that hit, years ago, where it was just like everything's supposed to feel good. And the minute you feel a negative thought come into your head, that means you're going to attract the wrong things and you're not going to get what it is that you deeply desire. And I'm here to tell you, it is the human experience. It is the human experience to have those moments where our inner mean girl comes in, where the insecurity comes in, and we are in that backlash state. So the biggest thing that I want you to hear from today's show is don't let that stop you. And don't allow that to be the thing that has you make that U-turn and turn back around. So what are you going to do instead? This is important because, listen, there are times where it's like, okay, we have this intention and we want to have intentions, we want to have goals, we want to have visions without attachment. Huge believer in that. The minute we're gripping and gripping and gripping with attachment, it's like sending a signal to that dream that you're not ready for it, right? So I'm all for not having attachment to it. But the thing is that we often get caught up in thinking that when things start to feel hard, when you have those moments where you want to put the covers over your head and stay in bed for the day and forget the dream and who cares anyway, who do I think I am? I mean, why did I want that in the first place? Maybe I just don't want that. And then you start talking yourself out of your dream, right? That's the thing that I want you to know is normal. That's part of the dreaming process. A lot of people call it the breakdown to breakthrough. And when you think about it, when you think about water on a stove and those water molecules on the stove that are then going to be transformed into the breakthrough of being steam, they're changing form from the water molecule to the steam molecule. They go through that boiling process. It goes through that sense of total chaos theory. It is that feeling of chaos. It's that feeling of breaking down. And that's actually what usually has to occur before the breakthrough happens. So when you have the insecurity backlash, when that comes up for you, the first thing that I want you to do is get quiet. And I really highly recommend that you do the wake up call 3-step process. This is on my website at amyahlershow.com. You can find the 3-step process right up there at amyahlers.com, my website, right? So you can do the 3-step process. And so the first step of that is ask, what is my inner mean girl saying? And let all of the insecurity out. Let your inner mean girl rant. Let her beat you up for a minute. Bring it out of the shadows and into the light so it can be healed. And then step 2, and this is really important to do, ask, what does my inner wisdom know? Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and say, what does my inner wisdom know? And that inner wisdom voice is the one that you want to ask, like, is this a sign that maybe this dream I have, this intention I have, this vision I have isn't actually in alignment for me? Are these feelings of insecurity? Is it, the feeling and that feeling like, oh, it's so hard. Is that a sign for me to make that U-turn? Asking your inner wisdom that. Or is it simply the breakdown before the breakthrough? And guess what? Your inner wisdom has the answer. Your inner wisdom has the answer. And then step 3 is to do some sort of physical movement. This is an NLP, neuro-linguistic programming technique, where you lock in your inner wisdom's truth. So for me, right in the new year, and we also got hit with the flu, like it was a rough holiday New Year season, I'm telling you, in our household. And I know it was for a lot of people around the country. So you don't have to take that personally if that happened for you as well. But I had to reconnect in with the dream, and I had to reconnect in with my inner wisdom and say, is this truly aligned for me? Is these feelings of insecurity, is that inner mean girl attack, is that actually a sign for me to turn around? Or is it a time for me to move forward anyway? And I have to tell you, ladies, this is something that men have been taught to do so much more often than women. And I feel like this is one of the reasons we underestimate ourselves, we bully ourselves, we are so hard on ourselves. All of that junk that we do to ourselves is because we're often not told this is normal. Men are scared too when they have a dream and all of a sudden they feel insecure about it. They might not talk about it as much as we do, but it's part of the human experience. So you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you, sweetheart. This is how it goes. So I'd love to hear, what is the vision that you have for your life? And have you had that insecurity backlash? It's time for us to get back to the visions and dreams that we deeply desire and not let that insecurity backlash stop us in our tracks. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Amy Ahlers Show. Again, the show notes can be found at amyahlershow.com/205. And I wanted to let you know a little secret. I am in the midst of finalizing my small circle of women for the Inner Wisdom Mastery Program. It's a 9-month group coaching program dedicated to you hearing the voice of your inner wisdom louder and clearer than you've ever heard it before. And then most importantly, having a sisterhood circle and a coach, that's me, to hold you accountable for actually following through on your inner wisdom. You can check it out at innerwisdommastery.com. I'm going to be opening up the final application window for it. No more than 20 women will be accepted into the program. We're about halfway full already. So if that resonates with you, if you're like, you know what, Amy, I want you as my coach. It's a rare opportunity and really probably the only opportunity this year to work with me in a small, intimate, beautiful circle of powerful women. It includes a luxury 3-day retreat. It includes regular monthly coaching and group coaching and sister minding and all sorts of juicy goodies. So go check that out at innerwisdommastery.com. I'd love to receive your application if that's resonating for you. So with that, my dear, I'm sending you off with so much love. Until the next Amy Ahlers Show, keep embracing the magic and messiness of life. Bye-bye.